Hello there and welcome. Today it is time to talk about the superhero movies from 2016 because they're all out now. So, first I'll go through which ones came out this year. There were more that were supposed to come out this year, that some that didn't. But anyway, we started off the year with Deadpool on February 12th, R-rated movie from Fox with Ryan Reynolds. Then next we had Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice on March 25th, Captain America Civil War May 6th, X-Men Apocalypse May 27th, Suicide Squad on August 5th, and Doctor Strange just came out November 4th. So what I wanted to do was just go through quickly and give my ranking of these superhero movies, because if you've been around my channel at all, really, you'll probably notice how much of my content involves superheroes and superhero movies or video games or whatever. So I've actually watched Doctor Strange twice already, so hopefully you've had a chance to watch it as well. But I thought maybe I'd start at the bottom for which of my ranking of the 6 movies. So the movie that I enjoyed the least, I guess, I had a lot of anticipation for this movie. They were introducing a lot of characters that hadn't been on the big screen at all before, and people generally liked at least some of the characters, but the plot and real storyline was incredibly weak, and by now you might know that I'm talking about Suicide Squad. I was incredibly disappointed in this movie. If you saw my videos from the start of the year, trailer reactions and stuff like that, you'll know that I was really excited and looking forward to all of these movies. But Suicide Squad was just an incredible disappointment, honestly, to me. I was expecting a lot more, and the first act or whatever, when the way they decided to introduce the characters in their own little mini music video type style, it was really strange to me. It's something that, in Guardians of the Galaxy, they used that type of stuff for the marketing and trailers and introducing you to the characters individually, making sure you knew who they were before you even went to the movie, and giving you some interest in them there. And I understand that they need to introduce them in some way and make sure you know who these people are that you're gonna watch a movie of for like 2 hours. But the way that was cut together, it was just really awkward, I guess, and felt like a compilation of TV spots or something like that. So it was hard for me to get into the movie really until that section was over. And then so the second act, okay, I was kind of getting into it, and then they're just fighting faceless creatures, whatever. You have to have something for them to mow through, I guess. And then they get to the final act, and I think a lot of people had problems with that. So yeah, just overall not a very good movie to me, which was quite disappointing, because I am not someone who tries to pick DC or Marvel. I generally enjoy both. I have comic books from both, and I, collect all the movies from both and stuff like that. Um, and generally, I usually like movies, superhero movies that, or at least enjoy watching the superhero movies that the general public doesn't necessarily enjoy and or are not very critically well received. But Suicide Squad was not good. Anyway, I'll move on from that. So Suicide Squad is at the bottom, and then next, the fifth one is in my ranking is Deadpool, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, why would you put Deadpool at the bottom? And there's a significant gap, I think, between Deadpool and Suicide Squad, but I'm not like, I know Deadpool as a character is, I know his background, his type of attitude, and that having an R rating was definitely necessary for a Deadpool movie. But it's just that type of humor isn't quite for me. A lot of the R-rated stuff, it's kind of over the top, and I understand that that's his character and all that. It just didn't really. It's not something that I enjoy, I guess. I like the fourth wall breaking and all that. The self-aware kind of humor, talking about how Fox doesn't. Who cares about the timeline, or oh, there's only two of you at this big mansion. It's like they didn't have the budget to include more characters and stuff like that. Like that kind of humor I did really enjoy, but the more the humor that was the reason behind the R rating and stuff like that, I wasn't as big of a fan of. So that's why it's kind of near the bottom for me. Next, we have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which was another movie that I was, of course, very excited for and looking forward to, and I had some friends telling me, oh, it's not going to be good. It's just going to be, finding some way for Batman and Superman to fight, and there's not going to be much to it. But I mean, I think there was more to it, but the way that was kind of edited together was very abrupt and kind of choppy, I guess, I found. So and some of the story points were definitely weak and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get my hands on the ultimate cut yet, hopefully for Christmas or something. But anyway, I still enjoyed the movie. It was just disappointing compared to what I was expecting from it. I expected a lot more, especially from the trailers, which I enjoyed the trailers. You can see my reactions and reviews of those trailers on my channel here. But yeah, just generally, I guess both the movies from DC this year were quite disappointing, and I was really hoping that these movies would kind of get them on track and up to speed with kind of, because I know they wanted to catch up with Marvel because they're fairly well established with the movies and all that. So these movies were kind of their hope to catch up, and I was definitely rooting for them and hoping they would, find the same success, because I want them all to do well and be good movies and stuff. But yeah, just generally a little bit disappointing. They're kind of having to rethink the way they're making these movies, and the Justice League and Wonder Woman trailers have been good, and they're trying to show that they're going a different way, I guess. But I'll save my anticipation for next year's movies for another video. I'll probably do that video next when I find the time. The third best movie from this year, in my opinion, is X-Men Apocalypse. It was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. Like it was, I don't know, going in, I had some anticipation for it, for sure. Not as much as Batman v Superman, but I was still definitely looking forward to it, especially coming off of Days of Future Past, which is a really good movie. And then this movie, it was good, and I didn't like. A lot of people had different problems with it. Some that I didn't exactly share. But yeah, just it was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. There's kind of nothing overly special, I guess, about it, to kind of differentiate it from a lot of other movies, I guess. But I don't know, just generally it was good, I guess. But the second best movie I found for this year was the most recent one, Doctor Strange. This movie was generally just a solid movie, really. Like I walked out of it and I couldn't really think of many problems that I had with it. It was just generally a well put together movie. It was really good visuals. The visuals were like crazy, especially when the Ancient One is sending Stephen Strange through all these different dimensions, that whole crazy whatever it was that he was being sent through. But it had some comedy in it as well, of course, being a Marvel movie, that I enjoyed. There's a few things that didn't quite hit as well as others, but generally I enjoyed the humor, and I felt like it did. The type of humor they had really fit in with kind of the tone of the movie. It wasn't abrupt or kind of a change in tone all of a sudden. I felt that it all really fit, and it was a different type of humor from a lot of the other Marvel movies, I guess. I felt anyway. But yeah, just generally a really good movie. I really thought a lot of the visual things that they did were really cool, and really, especially the last fight scene where instead of showing you all of the destruction and buildings being blown up and falling over and people crashing their vehicles and stuff, they get there late, and then I guess this is spoilers if you haven't watched Doctor Strange yet, but so you'll have to skip this next part if you haven't. They get there after the sanctum has been destroyed, and then he uses his time manipulation to make everything go backwards, and it was just a really cool idea, I guess, to have this fight scene going on, these people going forward fighting all the sorcerers, and it was cool too, seeing what visually how they showed the people that were going backwards coming out of that time manipulation and being able to move forward rather than being pushed back in time. I thought that was just a really cool scene, with the way that they were kind of using everything being rebuilt in their fight, rather than trying to break stuff as they were fighting and all that, like people getting stuck in walls and in a tank of water and stuff like that, and then they're dodging cars that are going backwards that had crashed originally, and you could kind of see the things that had happened um, during the previous fight, but there's also a fight going on as everything was moving backwards. So I just found that all really cool. But yeah, so that's what I liked about Doctor Strange. And that leaves just one more movie to talk about, which is Captain America Civil War. Basically, a lot of people referred to it as Avengers 2.5 because, I mean, the only people that weren't in this movie were Thor and Hulk, basically. And I like the way that they even kind of mention Bruce Banner and in passing, and kind of make sense of why no one reached out to him to bring him into this fight. But once again, it was just a really solid movie. Introduced some new characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther, which both of those characters I think were generally well received. Once again, people complain about Marvel having kind of weak villain in the background, but I thought it worked for this movie, and yeah, it was just generally a well put together movie. So it'll be interesting to see those characters in their own standalone movies, and of course just another solid Marvel movie to go along with the rest that they've already had, and keeping the overall plot moving forward with the cinematic universe. It was just another really solid movie. Let me know what your ranking of the 6 superhero movies of 2016 are in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it the good old thumbs up. And if you are looking forward to my video on my most anticipated superhero movies of next year, or the ranking of those movies anticipation wise, make sure to subscribe, and you can also follow me on Twitter at DylanMcGill8 for updates when I upload my new videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.